Hello guys, to Information and Communication Technology, to paper 3 for website authoring. We're going to do about website using Adobe Dreamweaver 2018 CC. And let's start with the first question. The first question starts with the evidence document with task number 1. So task number 1 says, open the evidence file in the RTF. Enter your name, center number, candidate numbers, so they will appear on every page of this document. Okay, so let's open the document. So let's extract the file, the folder, and here we go. It is paper 3-2. So usually I group by type, even though there are only few papers here, and I just make sure always that file extension is showing over here in the files. Okay, so it's saying open that file and add your name, center number, and candidate number. It's over here, and let's check it. Okay, we've got the so we can add the name and candidate number anywhere, so let me just add it in the header. Let me add the blank 3 column, and let's type the name, candidate center number, and candidate number over here. For the next question, it says save a word process document, work area with the name, evidence, the same name I believe, only we have to change the extension, followed by and also followed by our candidate number. So let's go back again, file and save as. We have to browse it and make sure it is saved in your working area. So make sure you add also your candidate number and make sure it is with the extension of Word document. After that, save it and go to your working area and make sure it is added with the same method and way they asked you to add. Okay, we're done adding this. So you will need to place a screenshot to answer and answers to question the evidence document. Okay, so here number 1 says part of the web page is designed to look like this, which is cloud storage, 10 giga free for 16 months. And okay, so we have a list here, numeric list, and this is not numeric list. Okay, so this is ordered list, ordered list, ordered list. This is a sub list, but it is not ordered list, it is an ordered list. So a trainee has attempt to create this list by using HTML. So we've got starting with the table TD. Okay, that's just a row. That's just a column over here. And then we have a list. Okay, and then inside the list we're having another list, and then another list here. Okay, that seems not making sense. So analyze this HTML and suggest amendments and identify where each of these amendments should be placed to not include the CSS. And this evidence will be number 1, so we have to place the answer in the evidence document over here. Okay, so let's go and check, compare this part with this part. So what they're wanting here, actually, we have the first to be ordered list, to ordered list, and ordered list. Only the first ordered list having 3 unordered list. So all of them are lists, but we have to categorize them into ordered or non-ordered. So this one is containing all to be a list, list, list. Let's try to copy this code into one of the applications. You can do it in Dreamweaver, or I can do it, for example, in Sublime, as it is easier right now to open it and explain it. Let's paste the code over here. Before pasting, let me save it. And I can say test, I can put it in the desktop, and I can define it as an HTML. Okay, and let me paste the code that I copied it over here. Okay, so I got the TD list. Let's save it and let's have a look how it is looking right now. So as you can see over here, it is looking like this as all like one list. So what we have to change this into the first 3 number lists. So to do this, let's go back again to the code over here. We don't need it to be TD, so I'm going to turn it into ordered list and close it over here, ordered list, because it is from the beginning till the end over here. So let's save it over here and let's go and run here. Let me close that. Okay, you can see that it become all into numeric list or ordered list. Okay, right now what we have to do, right now we have to change from the first point, the sub points coming from the first point, to become an ordered list. So this 2, 3, and 4, we have to change them to an ordered list. To do so, we have to add an ordered list starting from here and ending it over here. So these 3 points will become an ordered list. So I have to add UL over here and end it only over here. Okay, so what we got 1, 2, 3, except these 3 points are going to be an ordered list, and I will keep LI to define that those are lists or bulletin points. Okay, and then here we go, it is exactly matching right now with our this. So what we have to change, so let's write down right now this in the evidence. So we have to add here UL, and we have to end it at the end of the document. We have to add also, we have to add OL, ordered list, and end it over here, and we have to add UL and end it down after this point over here. So let's go, or let me keep it next to each other so we can define. Okay, great. So we have how many points over here? We had to get 5 points. Okay, so we have to think, we have to add the ordered list. First of all, we have to say setting ordered list, setting ordered list. So for the ordered list, what we did, we placed the OL before cloud storage and ended with OL after solid state drives. Make sure you're not forgetting this S or making any spelling mistakes. Yep, over here. Okay, and then the next point, this was for the ordered list, setting and list. So we placed UL, we placed it, or we can say after cloud storage, and ended with OL, UL again. Where we ended over here, which is after multi-regional, or we can say before hard disk drives. ended with UL before her desk drives. Okay, we have to mention also one thing, that let's go back here. We have to mention that OL is the main one here and UL is embedded inside OL. So UL is okay, that's good. So we've got like around 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 points over here. So that will be for evidence 2. So let's move to the next question. So question number 2, complete each sentence with the name of the development layer. This is a theory question from the last chapter. Place your answer in your evidence document. So we have to write down the answers in the evidence number 2. And okay, let's check. So just before I answer this question, complete each sentence with a development layer. We have 3 development layers for designing a website, any website. So those 3 layers are containing, the first layer is called the content layer, which is belonging or done by using HTML language. And the second layer is called layout or presentation. And it is usually done with the CSS, as it can give us the color, changing of the font, the size, and different criteria. It can be just changed through CSS, as HTML is just can be considered as the base of the home and totally pure without any color or designs. To add the colors and designs, we have to use CSS, and then to make it functional, we have to use the JavaScript, which is called the behavior layer. To make it function, to give it some animation, to make it with different ways. So this is by using JavaScript. So if we look to the keywords or related words to each layer, if we look to the first layer, which is the content layer, it is related directly. If you find the word HTML, that means they're talking about the content layer. If you found they're mentioning about markup language, definitely markup language is the HTML language, which denotes to the content layer. If they are talking about text, images, hyperlinks, those are all belonging to the first layer, content layer. Let's go to the key terms or keywords for the presentation. Definitely CSS. CSS is cascading style sheets, so any styles applied to any web page, that will be a presentation layer. Any fonts changing, size changing, color changing, text aligning to center, right or left, or text decoration to make it bold, italic, or underlined, those are all belonging to the presentation layer. For the last layer, for the behavior layer, you can differentiate it by having a word hover over, which is, for example, what I'm doing right now, hovering the mouse over those icons, and you can see the shape is changing, having some square or some emphasize over it. This is called hover over. This is done in the behavior layer by using JavaScript. I'm not speaking right now about this software, but I am speaking about the website. If those things are done hovered over a website, then it is done in the behavior layer by using JavaScript. Click on, whenever I'm clicking over a link or something, what I wanted to be done, what to open, how to do. This is done in the behavior layer. Actions, what things to happen specifically if I click over this. And after all, this is called a scripting language, which is JavaScript or in behavior layer. So let's get back again to our question. So the first one, it says the layer which is used by scripting language, then scripting language definitely will be. So the first one is going to be a behavior layer. Why behavior layer? Because it is mentioned by scripting language, and scripting language is already mentioned to be the third layer. Okay, the next one, it says the layer which is used, The layer is used for a hyperlink to open a word process document. So here they mentioned to me a hyperlink. So hyperlink usually related with the first layer. Usually to open a link or a text or something, we do it in the content layer. So the second thing will be content layer. Okay, so the third one, the layer that is used for markup language. Markup language, it is clear and easy. It's quite precise markup language for the content layer. Then the third one also is going to be the content layer. The last one, the layer that is used to apply styles to all web pages in a website. So that is styles, applying styles can be done only in one layer, which is the CSS layer or presentation or layout layer. So that is in the presentation layer. So okay, that was for evidence number 2. We have to place the answers in the evidence over here. So let's type the answer. That's behavior. The second one will be content. The third one also content. And the last one is the presentation layer. Okay, so let's move to the next. We're done with evidence 2. Let's move right now to our real task, which is web page. Okay, so you're going to create a web page and close this. And edit a style sheet for super desk sales. Many of the people who will view the web page have very slow internet connection. The web page and style sheet must work in any browser. All color codes must be in hexadecimal, and make sure your style sheet contains no HTML. Okay, that is clear point. In style sheet we shouldn't have any HTML. So create a folder called sts underscore HTML. So let's go to our over here, create a new folder and name it as they said, and then locate the following files and store them in this new folder. So JPEG, we have this JPEG picture, that's the first thing. Then we have a text file, SST file. And then we have a CSS file which is called SST style. Okay, over here. So we've got the 3 files inside that document, inside that folder. And then open that picture in a suitable application, reflect the image horizontally. Okay, so they want us to reflect it horizontally, and save the image with this new name in that new created folder. So let's go to this picture, right click and open it with Photoshop, or you can open it with any application that you like, and you can do it. So here's the picture opened. Okay, what we have to do, we have to reflect it horizontally, means from right should be shift to the left and left should be right side. So let's go to the image. From image we can see over here there is an image rotation. Over here it is clearly mentioned to us flip it or rotate it. Sometimes in other software it will be mentioned to make it into either vertical or horizontally. So we need it to be horizontally. Here we go. It looks correct right now, and before we close it we have to save it with disk1.jpg. So let's do save as, and it's supposed to be disk1.jpg. Make sure you're choosing JPG here, extension, and then save the image. You don't need to change any of the settings that shows to you. So just click on OK, and then let's go and make sure that it is saved in the folder. Okay, it's over here and saved here. You will notice the difference between the two pictures. They're opposite of each other, horizontally opposite. Okay, the next question, rotate the image disk. So it is into a 90-degree clockwise. So we have to take it to the right side clockwise, rotated, and save this image as disk to JPEG in your. So we shouldn't erase the first picture. We should rotate it and save it with the new name. Okay. So let's go back again to this picture. Again, image rotation, and we have 90-degree clockwise over here. And here we go. Let me zoom it, and we can see it is clockwise. Right now, let's save it. We only need to change the name into desk 2 and save the image. Okay, it's already added over here. So the next question, we're done with making both. We're done with creating this one and creating the second image. So crop the image in disk 2 that all the solid state drive is visible with an equal amount of red background on each side. This image must be square, okay? And do not distort the image. The hard disk must not be visible, okay? So let's open Photoshop back again. So what they want only this image to be cropped. So this is the image that we wanted over here. And what I can do, I just can go to the cropping tool. It's supposed to be, first of all, it's supposed to be square. So when I am cropping it, I don't need this hard disk part. So just let's go to the cropping tool. According to my selection, I selected. Let me reselect it again. And then I will click on crop. Okay, let me take the selection tool. I will make it a little bit larger so I can crop it easily later. Okay, only 1 pixel. I will adjust it later. So let's click on crop over here and press enter. So we can see over here the numbers, or what we can do, we can go to image over here and say crop. Okay, we got the cropping. So from here I had just an extra part, so let me just make it from here to be 2000. Okay, let's make it 244, and from here also to so that's a square shape. Let's save it right now and name it as disk 3. You will notice here the extension change, so make sure it is JPEG again. So resize the image of disk 3 to become 600 pixels and 600 pixels, so the width and height is supposed to be 600. Save the image as disk 4 in your SDS folder. So we have to go to image right now. We don't need to crop it, we just need to adjust the height and the width. So right now go to image size. Over here make sure the unit is in pixel, as it is mentioned here it's supposed to be in pixels, and just write down your number. As it is square, it will automatically this also change into the same number. Just make sure you're maintaining the aspect ratio. Okay, click on OK. Okay, and then after that save it as disk 4. in JPEG format. Okay, we got all the pictures over here, starting with the original, then 1, 2, 3, and 4. So that was number 3. Let's go to question number 4. Display the content of your SDS HTML folder showing the folder name, image dimension, and all the file names, file extension, and file sizes. Make sure you're putting all of those points they're asking for. So we have to put this in evidence number 3. Take a screenshot of your SDS folder and place this in your evidence document. Make sure folder name, image dimension, all file name extension, and file sizes are clearly visible. Okay, let's go over here. So we need to show the name of the folder also over here, and these names. What else we need to show? The folder name, image dimension. So image dimension is not showing here, so go over here, right click. If you have dimension over here, click on it, otherwise click on more. And just press over D on your keyboard and keep pressing till you can reach to dimension. Okay, so you can see dimension, it is showing to us the sizes, and then the dimensions. And then the next thing I need to show also all the file names with their extensions are showing. Make sure with the extension is visible over here, and then also make sure that the file size is showing. File size is over here, is showing. Make sure it is visible, and everything is clearly visible. Okay, that's all. So let's take a screenshot. Make sure you're taking it for all of it, and you're including the folder also at the top because folder name is required. And then post this for evidence number 3. I think the size is good, and then okay, great, that will be 4, 5. Let me just make it into bold. Good. Okay. Create a web page called solidstatedrive.htm, and then this web page must work in all browsers and will have a table structure as shown over here. Each table cell is identified with a letter. Okay, A, B, C, D, and E, and F, D, E, A, B, C, D. Okay, and all dimensions are mentioned in pixels. So those numbers are the dimensions in pixels, and the letters and dimension must not show on or appear on your web page. So the table borders and grid lines must appear on the final web page. Okay, so let's go and create a HTML file which is supposed to be named solidstatedrive.htm. So let's open Dreamweaver and let's create a new file. And before that, first of all, make sure you're saving it in the right place. Okay, so it is saved here. So we need to create this table. Table is consisting of 1, 2, 3 rows, and 1, 2, 3 columns. So let's go to over here. Make sure you're putting your cursor in the body. Go to insert, click on table. So we have 3 rows and 3 columns. Yep. Okay, the width, we have to make sure what is the width of the table. So we can see the full width is 1400. As you can see here, if you plus 800 plus 600, it will be 1400, or if you multiplied sorry, if you plus 400 plus 600, 1000, 1000 plus 400, 1400, so it is 1400 pixel, as those numbers are in pixel. The last thing, the border thickness is 1 pixel, as it is mentioned in this point that the grid lines must appear on the final web page. And then we can put it 0, otherwise if they mention it not to appear, we can put it to 0. Right now we're going to put it to 1. Okay, here we go. The first row is supposed to be all merged, so we're going to merge all the first row. Okay. The second one, it's supposed to be the first and second column supposed to be merged in the second row. So take both those two cells, right click, and okay. And then finally, in the third row, you don't need to merge any of them. Okay, let's make sure that the height of each of them are matching. So select over the first one and just make sure over here it is 1400 and the height it's supposed to be 80. Oops, not here. Let me select it again, and here it's supposed to be 80. Okay, the second one it's supposed to be 800, 600. You might notice that the width is not appearing because it is already set mainly in over here in the table, so it might not appear to you. Okay, 600. This is 600. Just make sure also this one is mentioned to be 600. And the last three columns, they're supposed to be 400, 80. Okay. This is supposed to be also 480. And this is supposed to be 680. Okay, so if you click on design, you will be able to see here the full table. Make sure you're saving it while you're working. Right now, let's go to number 6. Enter in cell A the text SST from Super Desk Cells. Cell A is the first one over here, so let's go paste it over here. Set this style as H1, so highlight it and go to format and set it to heading 1, and place cell B, the file which is from the ssd.txt. So let's go and open this file. Just zoom it, Control A, Control C, and we have to put in cell B, and we have to set it as H2, ensuring that the original paragraph breaks are not lost. We have to make sure that whatever here we have breaks here, they're supposed to be real breaks also in your web page. Okay, first of all, let's paste it in B. B is the one here. Okay, let's go to split and let's check. Okay, over here the breaks are not gone. If you looked over here, okay, great, the breaks are not gone. I just want to make sure also in the real page the breaks are also not gone. So let's open it. Okay, it's also not gone. Great. And I have to set it to H2. So place in cell 3 in cell C, disk 4, and add appropriate alternate text to the image. So cell C is over here. We need to add disk 4. Insert image. Make sure you're selecting cell C and then click over disk 4. Okay, just add it, and let's add the appropriate text for it. So over here you can select over the image. Over here in the alt, or in the code over here alt, you can add the image. So you just can write down solid state drive. Let's save it and let's check. Okay. It's actually supposed to be 600 and 600, and the image also the same. Maybe it will be adjusted later, or we have to check that point. The image also said, okay, we will do it later. Okay, the next question 9. Enter in cell D the text homepage and set it to H3. Cell D is over here, and set it to H3. Then we have E and then F. Okay, then so in E we have to put contact us, and H3 also. And make this text a hyperlink to open an email editor ready to send a message to STS with the subject SSD inquiry. Okay, let's copy this email and let's go. They want us to make a hyperlink, email hyperlink for this whole contact us. Whenever we click on it, we got it. So right click on, just highlight it and go to insert and look for hyperlink over here. Is there any email hyperlink? Oh yeah, over here you have an email hyperlink. You can keep this as it is. Over here you have to change the okay, let's just delete this. Keep only the text and paste your email over here. So this is the email you wanted. Sorry. Okay, and then they want you to also, whenever you click on it, there is a title appear automatically at that time. So what to do, you put a question mark and say subject to be equal to, which is this one. This is the subject we want it to be open whenever we click on. Okay, and let's click on okay. Let's save it and let's go and test it. Okay, it's working. So the email automatically opens here, and plus the subject also automatically appears over here. Okay, so let's carry on to the next question. Enter in cell F the text web page edited by. So this is in the last, and then followed by your name, number, and candidate number, and set it to H3. And make sure it is in heading 3. Okay, Attach the style sheet ssdstyle.css to this web page and save your web page. So to do this, try to make sure you're having CSS Designer, or it can be the any side or corner, and go to source, click on attach existing CSS file, browse, and browse that CSS file. Make sure it is always linked and click on OK. You will notice the font, some of the things are changed, and you will notice that CSS file is added over here. And another way to know that CSS file is added, if you go to the head part, you will find there is a link over here added, which is the CSS file. So let's save it, go and have a look at the web page. Okay, so number 13, open the style sheet, which is the same one, CSS SSD style.css in a suitable software package. Edit this style sheet to meet this specifications. Okay, and add your name, center number at the bottom, save style sheets, right in your software package. So it's obvious that we have to create a new we have to open a new one. I mean, we have to open the same file separately, not from here. And okay, so you will notice that the same file that was attached, we shouldn't do it here. We just have to open it back over here because it's not mentioned in the question. So what we have to set, we have to open right now the CSS next to each other. Let's do it like this. Let's open them next to each other. Okay, so the first one, it says that H1, H2, H3, it's supposed to use the font Arial. If not available, then Helvetica, or if not available, then just display sans serif font. So any of those three fonts can be used. So let's do this. What we can do, font family, Arial, correct, this one correct, and the final one also correct. What we need to add, we need to add the font color to set to hexadecimal this number. Okay, so semicolon, add color, and then here we have to add this number. Make sure to add hashtag and 361215 colon, and then go to the next, which is center align text, which is called text alignment or text align, supposed to be center. Okay, that's all for H1, H2, H3. Then right now we have to do this H1 separately, H2 separately, and H3 separately for the font size. So H1, H2, and H3. Okay, let's do H1, which is font size to be 30 point. Make sure that it is point high, so it is PT. The second one will be also, I'm going just to copy paste it and change the numbers. So the second one is 14 and the last one, H3, is supposed to be 20. Make sure you're not making any mistake and they're exactly matching as you're asking. You can just put a space. Oops, no, never mind. So then for all table cells, always remember a table will be divided into two parts. We have one for a table and another is going to be for TD, the internal parts of the table, like cell, whatever cell padding or anything located inside the table. Okay, so for the table, padding set to 15 pixel. Remember, always padding belongs to TD because it is always done inside the cells. So you have to put about padding over here and set to 15px. Okay, that's for the TD. For the next question, no collapse borders. Borders supposed to be mentioned in the table itself, so you just can put it over here. Border and border. Okay, border collapse. It's supposed not to be a collapse one, so you have to select the separate one. Okay, that was for tables, and then the final thing for the background color, it's supposed to be blue components X to hexadecimal 99, F for both red and green. Okay, that is body. And then over here, what we have to add, we have to mention that the background color is supposed to be, come on, oops, okay, double or just select it. And what is our background color? It always supposed to be in hexadecimal, at least in this paper, so it's starting with hashtag. So it is RGB, 2 numbers or digits for red, 2 for green, and 2 for blue. So blue component set to hexadecimal to be 99, so blue 99, and FF supposed to be for both red and green, so red and green supposed to be all FF. Okay, I got this color. Great, save it, and then add your name, center number, and candidate number as a comment at the bottom of the style sheet. Okay, as a comment, to add it as a comment, usually in CSS we have to use front slash, star, another star, and slash, and in between you can put the comments over here. So just put, as mentioned, your name, candidate number or center number, and then candidate number. So that's all, and then save this in your STS folder and display this in your software package. So that will be evidence number 4. Take a screenshot showing the content of your style sheet and place this in your evidence document. Make sure all the contents and file names are clearly visible. Okay. So that will be evidence 4. Let's go to our file and take a screen capture for this. We need to mention the name also. Let's go to evidence 4 and paste it over here. Okay, not possible, then great. Let's go to the next question. Display the web page in your browser. If necessary, resize it so that all the page can be seen, all the text can be easily read, the address bar is visible, and that will be evidence 5. Take a single screenshot for the browser window and place this in your evidence document. Okay, so let me put this back again. As you can see over here, we changed this CSS file. It changed also over here, so let's go and refresh this one. Cool. Okay, and then we need to take the screen capture of the whole page. Actually, this should be the real size. Try to zoom it and make it with the perfect size. You can just zoom from here, over here, plus and minus, and right now take the screenshot. Make sure you're taking the path also from here. Okay, and that's going to be evidence number 5. Cool. Let's go to the next one. Display the HTML source in your editor and take a copy of the HTML source, place it in your evidence document. That will be evidence number 6, the last thing. So let's go to our Dreamweaver and open back again your source code here. You can fully open the code and Control A, just highlight all of it and copy it all. Then go to evidence number 6. Let's make it into a new page and paste it over here. So that's our whole code over here. And then that's the end of the question. To print out, we have to print the evidence paper, which is this one. Just make sure there are no orphan or widows over here, that every title and answer are together connected. And then print your page and make sure your name and candidate number and center number, they're all showing. I hope you guys got all the questions and answers, and see you in the next paper for Excel sheet.